trying to get good start. I'm always starting with the number one held up. I'm like, one. Okay, anyway, so we are here to talk about UFC 259. This is my recap video. Janelle Owens here, and I hope you saw the event was last night. We had 4 champions, 3 title shots. I actually made 6 picks, not 5. If you saw my prediction video, I told you got to follow me everywhere, and that I would definitely be making a last-minute pick on one of the prelim fights right before it happened, and I did. Barely got it out there. Literally, as Dominic Cruz was walking out there, got that 6th pick. So I got 4 out of my 6 picks. So it was actually an okay night for me. Although one of the picks, even I'm just like, meh, meh. But let's go ahead and get into it. So first, on the main event of the prelims, I chose Dominic Cruz to beat Casey Kenny, and he did. This was a split decision victory in his favor. I'm okay with the split decision victory. It was close, and I was a little bit nervous, especially in the second and third rounds. I believe he sealed it with getting that late takedowns in those second and third rounds. He also was able to press him against the cage. Casey had a hard time hitting him. Dominic was able to get comfortable. So it was a good win, especially him being off for a while again, dealing with some injuries there. But let's see what's next for Dominic Cruz. I don't think he was even ranked before this because he had been out for so long. So afterwards, he called out somebody from Monster, the actual energy drink. Someone from Monster. I guess there's some issues there. But other than that, tell me what you think about that whole issue. Give me more information on that. Apparently, he's had issues with other fighters. Let me know what's going on with the Monster CEO or whoever he is and Mr. Dominic Cruz. And again, who would you like to see him fight next? The 135 division is getting kind of very interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now, on to the main card. First up, I did not get this pick. I chose Thiago Santos to beat Alexander Rakic. He did not. Unfortunately, this was not, I think we all thought this would be a bit more of an explosive fight, and it just kind of wasn't. A lot of respect there for the power there. It was Alexander who got going first and got going more often, pressing the pace, holding up against the cage. He was holding better positioning there, kind of landed more. Definitely won the fight. I believe it was a unanimous decision. Correct me if I'm wrong. I completely agree with it. That's a big, strong guy there. And even though this was kind of a lackluster, a performance that is not as memorable, the Smith victory is still quite fresh in our minds. That wasn't too long ago. So do you think he should just wait for the next title shot? Because that's what he says he wants to do. Do you think he gets to fight again? If so, who do you think Alexander Rakic should fight next? Next up, I got this pick. I chose Islam Makhachev to beat Drew Dober, and he did. As you know, Islam is kind of billed as being like the next one to carry the torch for Khabib Nurmagomedov and Camp, or the father Khabib and Camp, right? Grew up together with Khabib, close cousins. Khabib was in the corner there. Fights very similar. Great excellent wrestling. Guy has a great mind for feeling your body weight, the mechanics, the leverage, and just being smothering you. You not being able to move. Great submission, and he even had some nice hands there on the feet. Drew really couldn't even do much on the feet either. He was able to take him down, grab him, pound, hold him there, smother Drew. Drew looked frustrated, and he kind of took some energy out of him after that very first round. This went into the third, where he actually ended up ending it with a I think head and arm choke, but it actually wasn't. Well, it was in, but he was in half guard, so he wasn't even completely in the best positioning for it. Was still able to get the choke. He afterwards called out RDA and of course Tony Ferguson. He said, I've been helping Khabib prepare for you for like 10 years. It feels like you still talking trash about Khabib. I want to go ahead and finish the story for him. Who would you like to see Islam fight next? He's on a great winning streak, and I don't think any of them top lightweights actually want to see him, because who would you like to see him fight next? Now, on to the first of the 3 title fights, and I did get this pick, but we all know. Let's go ahead and get into this. And new UFC bantamweight champion, the Funkmaster, Mr. Aljamain Sterling. He won the belt from Petr, the former champion. So first off, I understand how all the controversy and people are upset about I don't see how you guys can't see how some folks would think Aljo won at least round 2. First off, even on the stats, rounds 1 and 2, he actually outlanded him by quite a few. We're talking like around 10, something like that. I can understand in the first round how, because Petr got that last-minute knockdown in that first round, how you could snatch that back for him. But I gave him round 2, and I see how you guys, it was very close rounds. Aljo looked very rushed. He was kind of sloppy, but he was controlling the pace. He was the one pushing forward. He was the one initiating the exchanges, whether he was landing or not. So again, I just don't understand how, I see how you could give Petr those first 2 rounds because it was close. I don't understand how I'm hearing a lot of talk like, the commentators are so biased. Petr won all those rounds. How you can't see how people could give Aljo 1 or 2. Again, I gave him 2. So, as in round number 2. Anyway, so as I said, he started quick in a hurry. It just rushed. Everything was rushed and forced, so it wasn't quite landing. He wasn't setting up his takedowns. They were very telegraphed. He was reaching, and by the third round, he actually started to gas. And Petr kept that calm. Like I said, in that first round, he was calm the whole time, even though he was backpedaling. It was Aljo initiating the exchanges, but Petr had kept his cool, calm, collected head, landed his shots in the first, and ended up getting a knockdown in the first round. In the second round, got more calm, landed a little bit more shots. It was a little bit closer, but Aljo still was controlling the pace, initiating everything, and outlanded him in that second round. That's why I give it to him. The third round, that's where it really starts to turn. Aljo is noticeably more tired, noticeably slow, and noticeably more sloppy. Again, really telegraphing those takedown attempts, reaching for Petr, and Petr was just making him pay for it, honey. You know, the quick hands and the obvious power advantage that he had. He really started to get comfortable in that third round, took the third, really took the fourth. Looked like it was about to finish him, and there was like 30 seconds left in the fourth, and it looked like he was about to finish Aljo, and then Aljo is damn near on both knees. I think one is like kind of like this. Don't say anything. I shouldn't even show how I'm just mismatching. It's just supposed to be hit. Okay, and the other one is completely down. He has one hand down, but that doesn't matter. His knee is down. And on top of that, right before this happens, the ref actually says he's down. And then for some reason, Petr knees him in the face. Like right side of the head, completely unblocked. Hard. Type thing. Oh Lord, I done messed up my stuff. Anyway, I mean, just I should have went that way. Like hard. Like shouldn't even ask Aljo whether or not he can continue. This is one of those, he could be concussed. You stop the fight, and because this is a championship fight and this is the DQ, and it has been determined. The ref even said it there. He knew he was down. I said he was down, and he did it on purpose. This was an intentional knee. So to throw an intentional, have a rule be an intentional knee that it fully connects, devastating. Aljo tried to get up kind of quickly and immediately fell back down. It was definitely wobbly. Those who were saying that he was acting, stop. As though there was even some saying that the knee didn't connect. Stop. You could see real time that it connected. You could see real time that his eyes had glassed over, was glazed over when he even tried to stand up, that he naturally fell back down, that he was absolutely affected. Stop. And it's one of those things when you have a legal blow land that devastatingly, you don't even really ask, don't even ask the fighter if they can continue. You just call the fight. So apparently he asked his corner, should I throw the kick or should I kick, or a question to that effect. They had footage from the corner. Someone says punch, or you must punch, or something about punching. And then someone else apparently in Russian says yeah kick or yes kick, or basically tells Petr to kick. And so he did that, and then that's why that happened. So whether let me know what you think about this. The corner failing him, whether or not some fighters are more, rely heavily more on the corners than others. I know this one's running a little bit long, but we had the controversy. The next one's going to be short. Some fighters rely more heavily on the corners, especially now that you can actually hear the corners. So you guys let me know, should they have taken the belt? Some people say that it should have been rolled disqualification, and that they should have stripped Jan, but not given the belt to Aljo. They don't like that he won the belt off of this. This is the rules, so it's the rules. I don't mind that they gave him the belt. For me, they're going to have an automatic rematch. And the two good things come from this. One, a lot of heat on the 135 division. Now we're really talking about it. TJ Dillshaw's in the wings talking about, what about me? We got Dominic Cruz. What about me? Nunes, Sandhagen. The division is kind of hot right now. And with this controversy, again, just got a lot of buzz around it. Plus, for Aljo, you got the best practice test you could possibly get. Oh, sheesh. And we know that you were rushed and you were kind of not fighting your own style. You gassed early and you got them rounds in, 4.5 rounds, and you got to feel his actual power. You got to feel his actual speed. He's not gonna, how much is he going to change in the next 3-4 months? Hopefully he's not on a medical suspension for too long. Hopefully he's not concussed, right? How much can he possibly change in the next 3-4 months? You got the best practice test you could possibly get. So let me know how you feel about the entire controversy and what you thought should have happened, if you agree, if you don't agree. And yeah, it was unfortunate. Next up, I got this pick, and still UFC bantamweight, but she was actually defending her featherweight belt, the lioness Amanda Nunes. Love her to death. Again, we're tuning in for the Nunes show. I thought that it would last a little bit longer. I think it was about 2 minutes into the first round that she ended it. They didn't even really engage. She got up in there with her. Megan looked kind of relaxed to Megan. Excuse me. Megan looked a little relaxed to me until she got hit the first time. She got hit the first time, and them eyes went. Everything, she looked puzzled. Oh snap! Maddie came forward, hit her with a couple of more shots. She hit her with I believe it was I know it was an overhand. I believe it was a right that actually stunned her. Had her doing a little chicken leg a little bit. Then she was able to take her down, and she was able to. She actually had her. She could have had her in a triangle choke or the arm bar. They were both on their back the way she had it. It ended up being the arm bar and got her to tap there in that first round. Another incredible performance for Amanda Nunes. She's 2 fights away from breaking another record. I believe longest fight win streak, male or female. So that's where she's at. She is breaking records now for regardless of gender, right? For either gender. So again, it's just amazing to see her. We're watching greatness live. Who would you like to see her fight next? I believe she is moving back down to the 135 division. That is where she will get her. And I was thinking about this, like, because she says she ain't giving up both belts. She doesn't care that the 135 division is shallow. Y'all just gonna have to keep throwing girls at her. And if she loses a belt first, it's probably going to be the 135. That's going to be the most talented. I think, well, tell me what you guys think. If she does lose a belt, which weight class would that be? I don't think Valentina's coming up anytime soon because she has quite a few fights now because the flyweight division is popping. She got Jessica Andrade next, okay? Like a former champ. So the flyweight division is popping. So who would you like to see for Amanda Nunes next? She's going to the 135 division next. She said Jessica Penne probably... Juliana, needs to have another fight there first. Again, what do you guys do next for the lioness? Greatness right there in front of our eyes. We're very, very lucky. Thank you, Miss Nunes, Miss Mama Nunes. Oh, I do want to say that real quick. It is not... Unfortunately, it seems like when female athletes have a baby, that you give so much to the baby. It takes everything from your body, your nutrients, your bones. It seems like they're never able to just fully be their 100% afterwards, right? There's a couple of track stars who've been able to win some, I believe, Olympic and world titles after having a baby, but it's just not really the norm, right? And I think for her, the fact that she's able to become a mother without having to give that piece of herself to do it, she might go on for quite a while. So, who do you think should be next in the UFC? They got to go out and get those featherweights, man. Kayla Harris. Apparently, it's her teammate. Didn't realize that. Okay, let's move on. I thought that was going to be a little shorter. But it's the lioness. All right, next up, we're in the main event. And I did not get this pick, but I'm okay with it. If you saw my prediction video, you know I was actually rooting against my own pick. I picked Israel Adesanya. He did not win. Excuse me, let me do this right. I did not get this pick. And still, the UFC light heavyweight champion, Mr. Jan Blachowicz, he successfully defended his belt against Israel Adesanya. And I'm happy he did it. Like I said, if you saw my prediction video, you know that I was like, this fight shouldn't have happened in the first place. I went on this long rant as to why it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Please go and check that out. So I'm glad that we're not seeing the 205 division stalled up on some BS trying to lure John Jones down, who's clearly not coming down. So, and again, with people saying that Jan won every single round, and saying, I know the commentators, they were biased. I mean, their love for Israel is, right. But Israel did win, like, the first round and maybe the first and second. I don't know why we're acting like he didn't win any rounds. He definitely won the first and possibly the second as well. It took about the third for Jan to actually get some of Israel's timing down and really to have to get his defense down. He had some really good defense and to start implementing his game plan and coming forward. He didn't even really start wrestling until the fourth and fifth. I'm over here all laid back. He didn't even start wrestling until the fourth and fifth, and he definitely won the fourth and fifth rounds because he was able to get takedowns and hold him down the entire time. So it was unanimous decision in favor of Jan. He won 3, 4, 5 in my opinion. I gave Israel 1 and 2. If you want to give Jan 2, okay. But again, I don't see how people are saying that Jan won all 5 rounds. I don't get that. And the multiple judges gave him rounds 3 and 4, or excuse me, 4 and 5 by 2 points. The scores were like 49-45. I don't even know how we get stuff like that. So, yeah, and Dana White went off about that, which is a kind of hypocritical because he's part of the crew that's like, pressing for them to score more 10-8 rounds so we can make things more interesting. However, he didn't agree here, so he kind of went off talking about like, this is ridiculous. Da, 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 da. Make up your mind. How do you feel about this? Let me know. Y'all talk to me. How do you feel about them pushing the 10-8 rounds more? I don't like the judges. I don't trust the judges. There's always somebody who's crazy off, so I don't like giving them more power. And by pushing them to do 10-8 rounds, you're actually giving them more power. So that's why I don't push the 10-8 rounds, because I don't trust them. So you let me know how y'all feel about that, pushing the 10-8 rounds. Happy that Jan kept his belt. Happy, like I said, happy that I lost this pick because we don't stall out an entire division over some foolishness. Afterwards, it looks like Glover Teixeira will be next. Glover was even there. He went up to Jan while Jan was still in the cage, even sitting down. He was like, hey. And I don't blame him. He's like over 40 years old, I think 42, so believe me how old he is. He's like, I've waited long enough, man. I don't have too many more runs in me. This might be my last one. And afterwards, Jan took kind of a shot. He said, we don't know how much time he has left, and I want to fight him while he's still good. So looks like that will be the next shot. I like Glover. I think everybody does. So I hope that that's the next one. If not, who do you think Jan Blachowicz should fight next? We're done. And so again, I had that last minute pick. So you got to follow me everywhere. Let me know how you did on your picks, all the injury updates. I know some people went to the hospital, so please let me know. All of the bonuses went to the prelims, so I'm actually going to sit up and watch that right now. So again, let me know how you did on your picks, any injury updates, any updates period. There's a lot of controversies there. I asked a lot of questions there. Please answer the questions. If you've made it this far, you got to like the video. If you've made it this far, share, subscribe, and all that. Follow me everywhere, Twitter and Instagram, it's Snapchat, and everything else you could probably think of if I'm on there. And subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. Goodbye.